Hi, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel, All of My Plants. Today we are starting the fall plant tours, show and tell. I'm going to start with philodendron. I don't know how many I have. I haven't counted. I know there's a lot. I did actually count the amount of plants. It's not quite 500. I thought it was closer to 500. I mean, it's closer to 500 than 400, but it was like 460 some odd. I cannot remember because I didn't write it down, but it's a lot. I didn't count just philodendrons to tell you how many philodendrons, but surrounded by them and other plants too. But I'm going to start kind of here behind me, and we'll work our way around and see how far we make it before the camera overheats. And that'll be part one of the philodendron tour. I think it's going to be probably about a three-parter. I'm going to assume. I'm guessing. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for the rough lighting now. Some things are probably going to be blown out, and others are going to be in the darkness. There's a ton of light in here, but my camera just goes, you know what, let me fix that for you. So we're going to start over here. This is by the door. Also, pardon if you see my daughter's stuff everywhere. I'm still packing her room up. It's kind of a mess in here. But anyway, this one, Philodendron Burle Marx. I love this plant. I've had it for not quite several years, but I'm going to say at least 5 years. I don't know. It still has the wooden dowel in it. I'm going to replace that with PVC. I am taking a lot of things and putting them on moss poles right now, but this guy here is just going to go on PVC because I don't really care for it to climb one way or another. I just need it supported. Because it just like, it'll splay out and take up half the room. I'm not trying to size it up or anything like that. I think it's lovely. That's a new leaf. I've left the damaged leaves on from the greenhouse. This is sunburn. It's fine. But look at the chaotic way that it grows. Like, that's a growth point that came from the bottom. It's so weird, right? But beautiful. And I love this plant. I do. It just grows so weird. But yeah, Philodendron Burle Marx. It's a good one. Pretty easy. Some spider mites occasionally here and there. But I just blast it off and then like treat it, and we're good to go. So another one that I have right down here. Pardon the mess once again. I'm just sticking things everywhere. I'm gonna sit right in the floor and talk about this one. It's very dirty. Pardon my dirt pile, I spilled a plant, knocked a couple plants over yesterday. I have help. That's Skimbleshanks. I call him Smalls, or Porridge, or Dumpling, because he's robust. Alright, so this is, it's called Philodendron Birkin. See if I can pull it over here. Philodendron Pink Birkin. I'm sorry, not just Birkin. It looks very much like a red Congo to me, or a Congo Rojo. And if you've paid attention, I said I hate that plant. And it's not that I don't like the way it grows. I think it's lovely. It's a beautiful plant. There we go. You can kind of see the Birkin-ness. I don't know what the pink part is. It's supposed to be variegated. Mine is not. But see those spots? That appears to be a copper, like I think it's called copper rust. It's fungal, and it is so hard to get rid of. It is so hard to get rid of. So this plant has been treated several times, but you'll notice it's sitting on the floor, and it's kind of farther away from most of the philodendrons. It doesn't seem to spread, except for on the plant that it's infecting, which seems pretty common. And I've noticed it in like Black Cardinal, Macaulay's Finale, Philodendron Narrow, and Philodendron Congo Rojo, or Red Congo. I think I might have seen it in the Green Congo as well. But it's a pretty common issue, and you treat it with copper fungicide, or fungicide, however you'd like to say it. I'm not sure. That's just how I say it's fungicide. But, and it does seem to be helping. Like this leaf has come out since it's been treated, and you'll notice there is still some spots, but yeah. So I'm not going to linger on this plant much longer, other than to tell you that certain plants for me just have this issue. I see them brand new in stores with that. Like, why are they still selling them? But anyway, it's a pain in the ass to get rid of. So eventually I will cut off all these leaves. If I ever actually get, you know, decent growth, I will cut it right back to wherever the unaffected growth is. And if it doesn't do that soon, within the next couple leaves, like looking brand new, without spots, I will pitch this whole plant. I have no patience or time for for dealing with that. But I thought I'd show you what was going on with it anyway. Okay, and then the next one is kind of back there. You can see the pole. It's like tucked in there. That is Philodendron Giganteum, which I top cut, and this is the top cut. That's the leaf. One of them, the one I can get to. It's a lovely plant. It's a huge plant. It eats up a lot of space. Clearly, it was about 4 feet tall before I did this top cut, which this top cut has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves. It's kind of floppy. I mean, it is sort of standing up better. Excuse me, sir. No shade for the Syngonium, please. It's standing up better on its own now, but you know, it had no roots except for the aerial roots, which I just kind of jammed in the pot back there. You can kind of see them everywhere. So I assume it is rooting in there. I don't know. I haven't worried myself about it too much because it did have so many aerial roots or adventitious roots. But yeah, hopefully it'll get growing and come this way. You can see it does have a new leaf coming here. So, you know, I'm hopeful. Not too much to say about that one other than it's huge. And then down in here, that is, it was sold to me as Philodendron Goldii. I believe now they're calling it Thaumatophyllum Spruceanum. It was a slow grower at first, but I think it was just very root bound. I up-potted it. Oops. Like, it's got a cool leaf structure, like the way it grows, right? But anyway, it was root bound. I up-potted it. That is the new pot. It is drying like nobody's business, so I'm gonna have to repot that again. I like that plant growing better now, but it's grow a leaf, lose a leaf, and I think it's just the pot issue, drying too fast. So that's that one. We'll come right on over. That there, Philodendron fuzzy petiole. This is the newest leaf. It has hardly any soil in the pot because this is one of those ones that I spilled where there's dirt on the floor. What have we got there? Moss. This had spider mites. It had lost all the leaves along the bottom, so this is a top cut. Didn't really have any roots, but I plunked it in there. I did see some when I knocked it over. I gotta put some soil back in that pot. I don't, like, it's supposed to be fuzzy petiole, but that looks more like a bristly petiole. Feels like, it feels rough and bumpy. There's nothing fuzzy about it. I don't know. But yeah, either way, I like that plant a lot. I just wanted to not have spider mites. So I've treated it pretty thoroughly. So hopefully we've gotten rid of that issue. Pardon the hair. But it's a pretty plant. I think it could be very stunning if I could just grow it well. Kind of well. Alright. And then right in front of it there, this is Philodendron adibapoense, which I love. Party in the back. It's doing really well. It really is. It's just kind of a slow grower. So yeah, it's doing great. I love this, like, just the way that the mid-rib there, the mid-vein, contrasts with the color of the leaf. So pretty. So pretty. Like, it's a gorgeous plant. Gorgeous, darling. This one here also got dumped over, so it's a little dirty, but it's okay. This plant's been knocked over several times, actually, and has not missed a beat. Somehow I haven't broken it yet. You know, knock on everything. I say that, and then I'll do something terrible like snap the growth point off. Let's hope not. Its neighbor, Philodendron Plowmanii. Look at that yellowing. So sad. This plant was so dry, it was like it had fallen right over. I don't know how this leaf is even hanging on here. this plant, it's spider mites. I forget to water it. It's like I do not grow crawlers well, basically is what it comes down to. None of them yet. I have since stopped buying crawlers. The last one I bought is actually the best, the one that's doing best, but you'll see that in a moment. This plant is so pretty when I don't neglect it and wash the leaves occasionally. But yeah, it does have a new leaf coming. There we go. And I expect that'll be just fine, but I also expect that this one will go very soon after that. Like you can see there's a lot of like bare stem down there, bare stolon. So that's not ideal, but you know, here we are. I'm doing my best with it. Or the best that I have time to do with it. There we go. And then down here, that is Philodendron Hastatum Silver Sword. This is the newest leaf here. The previous leaf, arguably, there we go, was more mature looking. I left this one in the greenhouse. This is growing off of it as well. Left this in the greenhouse until fairly recently. I kind of forgot about it. It was one of the last ones to come in. But that's pretty, right? It'd be prettier if I didn't neglect it so much. So you'll probably hear this 800 times. I love this plant, number one. Number two, I've got to get it on an actual moss pole. That's my chore list here lately, is putting things on moss poles. Can't tell you how many I've made, but it's been a lot. And I'm not done. So, but yeah, like not a whole lot to say about this plant. I do like it. Pretty big fan of it. I just need to get it in a better situation. That pot also dries really fast. I must have used the chunkiest soil mix ever. So another very angry crawler, Philodendron Gloriosum down here. This poor plant, it hates me. Not that I blame it at all, but it definitely hates me. We have leaves that have torn themselves. We have leaves that are all rumply. It's so sad, like so sad. It's broken its own neck down here. At that point, I don't know if it's focusing. Probably not. But it's had a rough go of it. I think if I had to guess, it's vacillating between underwatering and overwatering. And I did cut the stolon down there, so that's a new plant. It's like I cut it somewhere along the line there. It's also got a new leaf coming. Maybe that one won't break. I need to uppot it and see what's going on with those roots, because I suspect that I rotted a lot of them off. I mean, that's not happening today, but I need to do it. Because I love Gloriosum. I really, really do. I think as like a lot of plant parents who like rarer, or I don't know if rare is the word, I'll say expensive philodendron. Because there's plenty of these. This is one of the first plants I started out with like that way, was Gloriosum. It was one of my more unusual or harder to find philodendron. Not this one, a different one, but anyway, and I did pretty good with them for a while, but then I just started neglecting them, and then this is what you end up with, is yellow, splotchy, angry leaves. This poor thing. But yeah, so angry plant. And while I'm in here in the floor, I guess I'll show you this leaf down here. This one here, this was sold to me as Mayoi, or what was it, Tahiti? No, dubium. It was sold to me as dubium, but I think it's Mayoi Tahiti, maybe radiatum, I don't know. I really can't tell the difference, but I'm a big fan of this plant. It's a good plant. It's sized up fast for me. It is on a bamboo stake at the moment. Here's another leaf over here. And here. Right there. I did just propagate it not that long ago, a couple months ago maybe. I think I took 3 single leaf cuttings, and they've all rooted and have new growth. But I'm going to put them all in one pot together on a pole, and I may have to cut it again because it's already tall enough that I think it would go off the top of like a 1-part pole, if that makes sense. But yeah, we've got a new growth point there, and this leaf hasn't even unfurled yet. And then the most recently unfurled leaf is this guy, which is the biggest leaf on the plant. So, yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. And then this is my shelf of chaos here. There's some not so happy things going on there, and there's some happier things. I have this guy right now stuffed in here. Oops, if I can get a hold of him. There we go. That's Philodendron Florida Ghost. It's one of, I have several of these around. You'll probably see more at some point. Oh, there's a new leaf coming. It's like mashed up under the other leaf. But it's finally gotten itself together. This one is behaving. The other one's maybe not so much, but finally got one to grow as a single plant and, you know, do the thing. So it needs to go on a wasp hole. But look how pretty that is. Isn't it lovely? That's the newest leaf right there. Other than the one unfurling. I cannot speak today. But yeah, lovely. I like the pinkish petioles, pinkish red. They look more red in person. See the extra floral nectaries? Sticky. And then up here on this shelf, this is my Philodendron Bilietiae. It has done nothing. If you've seen some of my other videos, if we'll focus, I've given this plant root rot, the base of it. And then this is the top cut. And where's the growth point? Kind of there toward the middle-ish of the screen, if you can see it. That's a root sticking out. Why they grow up on this plant, I don't know, but they do a lot. What is that in? That's not pond. The heck is it? Bonsai mix. It's in bonsai mix with no water in the reservoir. It's still pretty heavy though, so I assume it's still damp. But anyway, I see it's growing roots up. I hope it's also growing roots down. I say all the time that Bilietiae is the toughest plant. It is. That doesn't mean that it'll never get root rot. That doesn't mean that it doesn't get pests. What that does mean is that it does not die just because you have maybe neglected it, or rot the roots, or spider mites have infested it. It takes that and it'll come back. It will grow back. I have done so many things to this plant, but I've never had it grow well. Never. Not yet. You know, I'll keep trying. And then up here, I hold this one. That is Philodendron Brasil. I like it. It's a nice, lovely, trailing philodendron. And I'm so sorry about this color, or this lighting. Could be the coloring and the lighting. But it's a lovely plant. It does well. It's in a ceramic pot. This is the one, I don't know if anybody saw that video, but I said, yeah, I want to put it on a shelf above my bed, which I lived there for a while. I was like, I want it to trail and hit me in the face while I'm sleeping. But it actually started doing that. So I did move it because it's in a ceramic pot, and it's quite chunky, and I didn't want a face full of that in my sleep. So it lives there now. You know, for my own safety and well-being. Okay, and then here I don't really have many philodendrons. This is the sun rises straight out there, so it's an east-facing window, or mostly east. But the only plants I have in front of there that are philodendron is Philodendron Summer Glory, which I love. This is, I believe, a crawler as well. It seems to be crawling so far. This is the newest leaf on one of the plants. Then that little shiny guy there is the newest leaf on another one of the plants. It's got some more coming in. I think it's 3 in here. 3 growth points. Yeah, there's one there. One there. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know. But doing good. It's doing very well. This one doesn't give me many issues. I haven't had any pesties or anything on it yet. No stuck leaves. My only issue with it is, you'll see it's in this weird setup here where it's like the pot within a big bin. The soil's hydrophobic already, and I've just been putting off repotting it. I shouldn't say that. I've just been so busy doing other plant chores that I haven't gotten to this particular plant chore. But anyway, it's in there because I water through the plant pretty thoroughly, and then I add this, or add water to this, so the plant has more water because it's just not enough just to run it through the substrate. So, yeah, Philodendron summer glory. I think that's a cross between like Gloriosum and Macaulay's finale. One of the Macaulay's plants. It's a good one though. And then this guy here is the other Philodendron. This is not great lighting. This is dry, is what it is. I think it was sold to me as Philodendron Lime Fiddle / Mottled Dragon. Like it was labeled both. And you can see the lighter green spots on there. That's what this plant's supposed to look like. Which we don't get a lot of that on this particular specimen. Insect damage from the greenhouse still. Can't get it to focus, there we go. Like I said, the insect damage doesn't bother me so much. It does have a new growth point though. So this is the top cut. We'll see the bottom cut in just a moment and talk a little bit more about it, but yeah. And then if I don't kill myself on my tripod, which I'm gonna move. And then right here is Philodendron Squamiferum and a Lolo. Actually, her name's Willow. I just call her Lolo. I don't know. I also call her Pork Chop, but okay. And I am overheating, so I guess this is the last plant. This is Philodendron Squamiferum. It did have a couple inflorescences this year, and I did want to pollinate it, but the timing just didn't line up right, and I didn't notice when it was creating pollen. And then the second inflorescence actually didn't open at all. But anyway, it's a beautiful plant. I love it. The fuzzy red petioles, which this is not the best lighting for seeing those, but it does turn kind of green as it ages. Still fuzzy, and it has more of a blush closer to the leaf, but it's a lovely plant. We have a new growth point. I love this plant, and it needs a moss pole. Seems like I say that a lot. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to be it for part 1. Okay, so that was part 1. Hopefully I can get this camera sorted out. It's driving me crazy, constantly overheating. But yeah, so I'll probably break up the parts because it'll be a mini several part, I'm sure. I'm just looking at all the plants that I haven't even gotten to. Never mind all the ones that we walked by on this side. So it'll probably be a mini parter. I will probably break it up with some other things. I have, I don't know how long they'll take to get here, but I've ordered some plants from Equigenera. They're supposed to be here the first week of November, I believe. I only ordered 2, and as I'm recording this, it's the 27th of October. So, you know, I'm not going to spread these out like once a week, like I do my normal videos. I'm just going to kind of put them out as I get them recorded and edited. But like I said, other stuff will probably pop in the middle because this is going to take a while, especially if my camera overheats after 20 minutes every time. So you're going to see some other stuff in between. I have some plant hauls. I have some plant chores, lots of plant chores. You know, things. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back soon and check out part 2. Bye.